Hey, Adonicas, that had to feel. I know the outcome wasn't the way you wanted, but that had to feel good to have kind of a breakout game. I know you've been through a lot just to get back onto the field and get healthy and those kind of things. Just kind of had it feel in the game to get that many touches.
It was a great feeling getting that many touches. I wanted to have 100-yard receiving game, and Jeff was able to find me on some great play calling by Coach P, and I was able to meet my goal and get 100 yards. I just wish we came up with the win on Saturday, but on to the next one. Focus on Pitt this week.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Adonicas. Coach Patino was mentioning yesterday that the ball was coming your way because of the way the defense was lining up before the snap. Did you see that was going to be a good possibility that the ball was coming your way?
Yes, I read the defense pretty well, and like the play calling, I'll just see the safety rotation and like on certain plays, I know when the ball coming my way based off how the defense looks. So I'm be 100% ready when the ball come my way because I already know once the safety make a like certain move or this route concept fits this defense, and I was in that spot where the defense wasn't. So that's how I was able to get those plays.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Donicus.
Hey.
One thing that sticks out to me is how hard you play, and I forget which game it was, but I remember like there was a fumble or interception, and you chased some guy down, and obviously you had the nice game on Saturday. But like when the ball isn't coming your way, kind of what has kept you going and keeps you playing hard? Whether it's blocking or just running your routes.
Coach Collins is have a big emphasis on effort, so I try to give 100% effort as much as possible, whether I'm blocking, getting the ball, have to chase down, interception. I just give it my all every play like it's my last.
Next question is another one from the AJC, this time from Bailey Johnson.
Hey, Adonicas, when it's chilly like it's supposed to be Thursday night, I think the low is like 38. How do you try to stay warm, and I guess how does just the cold affect things overall for you?
With the cold, I just try to bundle up as possible and stay as warm because like being a wide receiver, the most important job is to have your hands warm, and that's the most thing I focus on the more. And like, because catching a cold ball is no fun, so I just try to keep my hands warm as possible.
Do you do anything maybe surprising to try to keep your hands warm?
Hopefully we have some heaters on the sideline, and when the defense on the field, I just have my hand by the heater and keep it warm until it's time for me to get in the game.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan.
Do you do anything different for you guys are playing a bunch of games in a short window right now? Do you do anything different to prepare yourself physically or to try to get that mental recovery when you have this short window, especially coming off a game Saturday and then play Thursday?
I know all week I was saying, sheesh, this is a quick turnaround. So I just take care of my body. And it's basically the same process, but I have to do it in a shorter time. So I just like take care of my body and try to stay as healthy as possible so my body can be ready for Saturday.
Another one from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Adonicas, Thursday night's the last home game for Jalen. What have you learned from him in your time playing with him in the wide receiver group?
Throughout this journey, me and Jalen made a great bond, and I try to take Jalen's a great player, so I just like ask him questions because he is a pretty smart guy in the film room and a great receiver on the field. So anything I lack in that he knows of, I just ask him like how to do this and what I can do to get better at this. Like Jalen, like I know like Jalen wins a lot of jump balls, so I always ask him, bro, what do you do, like, what's your releases and how you do to get open on these jump balls? Because I'm trying to be the same way. So I just keep in contact with him a lot, just trying to learn as much as possible to be a great receiver.
Another question from Ken Segura.
Pitt, their pass rush, I'm sure you've heard, is really, really good. And I'm curious, when you play a team like that, does that make you more kind of aware of, scramble drills and making sure you're kind of paying attention to what's going on with the quarterback?
Pitt is really good up front, and I know Coach Key have a great game plan for Pitt defensive line. And the play calling this week going to be pretty effective because I know Coach Patno and Coach Key got a great scheme for their pass rush this week.
What goes through your mind on Thursday in what could be your last home game at Georgia Tech, and kind of what are the emotions like for you?
It's been kind of like, just focusing on ending time at Bobby Dodd on a good note, going out there with my teammates, maximizing what we can do out there, playing to the best of my ability for my teammates out there and the other seniors out there.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
A lot has been made about, having the Pitt game plan already in place. Has that made this short week easier for you? And what do you see from their offensive line?
Pitt is a very talented team. It does help that we did have that week of preparation before. It has helped with this short week coming up. Very confident in what Coach Stack got planned for us as a defense and ready to go out there and put it on the field.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Djimon, have you actually made a determination that you'll finish up, or is that up in the air for you?
I'm really just focusing on, finishing out the season strong. Then I get a chance to sit down, talk with coaches and parents and everybody around me after the season over with.
What do you think will kind of go into that decision? What are some things you're thinking about, or will think you'll be thinking about?
I haven't really even gotten that far with it.
Next question comes from Bailey Johnson, also from the AJC.
Hey, Djimon, when it's chilly like it's supposed to be Thursday night, I think the low is in the high 30s. How do you try to stay warm? Do you guys do anything that might sort of surprise those of us who do not spend our time on football sidelines?
Well, I know a lot of people wear sleeves, but on the D-line here, we got a little theme of not wearing sleeves to end the game. So I think one trick that a lot of people use is putting Vaseline on. So, yeah.
Why don't you guys wear sleeves?
You can't go out there looking soft.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan.
You guys had a very different look on the defensive line on this past Saturday, and you had Jared and Kyle, who are young guys, and Charlie trying to move over. Did you talk to those guys between plays to try to help? I imagine that was a little interesting for you to not have your usual guys always out there.
Well, I will say the good thing about Coach Collins and this coaching staff is you get to practice with everybody. You line up with everybody in practice, so we're prepared for the moments when it's next man up. I've got reps with Kyle and Jared with the ones, with the twos. Like, we all just mix up at practice, so we're ready for these moments.
Another question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Djimon, your the run defense numbers of the last two games have been really, really good, much better than earlier in the season. And Coach Thacker has mentioned a couple of times, it's the interior of the line has done a really good job. I'm curious, what have you been doing? How have you guys gotten your play better, you and Jaquan and those guys to be making an impact as you have?
It just goes to the mindset of, not letting no teams run up the middle of the field on us, trying to make sure we maintaining our gaps and doing what we're supposed to, and being solid when it comes to our jobs out there on the field.
Another question from Rod McKenzie.
You have a quarterback in Kenny Pickett who is more apt to pull the ball down and run more so maybe than the last two guys you faced. What does that pose for you guys along the defensive line?
That means we have to put an emphasis on maintaining lane integrity, our rush lane integrity, our points on the quarterback, make sure we maintaining our points, and not just leaving big gaps for him to scramble through.
Another question from Ken Segura.
When you came to Tech as a freshman, if we had told you, by your senior year, you'll be starting and playing a lot and an important part of the defense, what would you have thought, you think?
I probably would have been like, I already know that. It's more of a mindset of already knowing like what you're gonna do and what you got planned for yourself. So yeah.
And then one other thing, to go back to what you're saying about, staying in your gaps in the run defense. Like the last couple of games, do you feel like you guys are doing much better at that? Or how do you explain just how the defense is defending the run, so much better than it had been?
I say it's not just the on us up front. It's everybody fitting where they're supposed to be better. We do a lot of emphasis in our meetings on where we're supposed to fit, where we're supposed to be at, how stuff's supposed to flow. So I think we do a good job as a unit on communicating week to week what we can get better at and actually working on getting better at those things. So that has been great to see an improvement in our run defense.
Guys that were here in my freshman year and throughout that whole time, just creating really, really good relationships that's going to last a long time is definitely the biggest thing.
Next question comes from Bailey Johnson from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Pressley. I think it's supposed to be pretty chilly Thursday night. I think the low is like 38. How does it affect kicking and stuff when it's cold outside?
So the biggest effect is definitely the balls. So they get really, really cold. Sometimes the air likes to deflate just a little bit. But the biggest thing is, just you got to stay warm longer. It's harder to, try to get into it with the weather being so cold. But, me and the guys, we got a routine we've been doing for a couple of weeks now since we had practice in the mornings. Like we just came from practice. It was pretty cold today. Just we have the kicking net on the sideline and stuff. So we use that a little bit more. We have different tools like a Theragun and stuff like that to, kind of massage our legs and stuff to try to keep us warm throughout that cold process of the game.
Is there anything that might sort of surprise those of us who do not kick balls for our weekly activities that it's harder to stay warm? I know Dante said last week that he puts Vaseline on his arms for the wind and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I usually would just wear tights and long sleeves and stuff, but I'm pretty okay. But for him, I don't think they like to wear sleeves, so Vaseline is definitely a way for him.
Next question comes from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
I guess, have you thought much about the future, Pressley, and kind of what your plan is going forward, or is it just kind of wait and see after the season, talk with the staff and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so, biggest thing is just finishing up this year strong. 2 games left, 2 really, really good opportunities for us to get a win, as well as myself and all of the punt teams to, leave it out with a bang and try to get this award. Because it's not just me, it's all 11 of us on the field. And, that's really the biggest thing I've made, biggest thing I've been thinking about right now is just finishing the season and all. And whenever that time comes and make a decision, that's when it'll make it.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Pressley. I was curious, just how are you feeling physically with your back?
Yeah, man, I'm good. It was just, I was a little bit banged up, but been in the chiropractor with Dr. Rhino. I'm pretty sure y'all all know Dr. Rhino. Been with him a lot, and, I'm definitely back at 100% now and feeling really well.
Did that keep you from holding this past week, or?
Well, I'm not really sure. Coach wanted to rather take it easy, so, depending on how he wants to do the game plan, it'll play out however he wants it to.
How is Dr. Rhino's treatment?
Awesome. That is an awesome guy.
Another question from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Pressley, 2 games left. Do you have another touchdown pass in your arsenal?
Man, if it gets called, it gets called. I would love to have another one, but, depending on the game plan, we'll see how it goes.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan.
Is the pass, is that the thing that stands out most to you when you think back on your career?
It definitely is one of them. That was definitely a highlight moment for the season last year, especially for Nate to have that touchdown. It just he was a senior that year, and he was gave his all for his team. And I think one of that big play is a big reason of why he is where he is today. It shows that he's not just able to be a gunner. He's very versatile because he plays running back as well, and it just shows really, really good hands. And also, that definitely is one of the biggest plays I'm definitely going to keep looking back on.
And last one for Pressley comes from Ken Segura.
About the award, the Ray Guy Award, as you mentioned, I think it would be kind of an honor for the entire punt unit. What would that mean to win? And I guess kind of what can you do these last 2 weeks, I guess, to improve your candidacy?
The biggest is just the consistency. We're in the part of the season now where it's starting to get cold. You got different type of things that are, starting to become variables into the game of punting. So the biggest thing is just the consistency between all of the different adversities during the game we'll have, the weather, as well as like the wind, because it likes to get windy in Bobby Dodd too. So, just making the most of what I have on the field every time that we go out there, no matter what circumstances it is, try to end on a good note.